having heard both of what you said, I tend to disagree with you that we don't know, because, but really what I want to ask you is, do we have an understanding of what British and US policy, has that changed? Because you said originally that's what decided the fate of Cyprus. And are we saying we don't know what that policy is now, therefore we don't know what's going on behind closed doors? We know very much what's going on behind closed doors, because it's not going to affect really what the citizens want, but it'll be because of Cyprus's strategic place, and therefore it'll be very much what politics decides. And so, I mean, so I really just want to know from both your points of view what you think now is the state of play with US foreign policy.
I think British, I mean, if I start first, my feeling now is that Britain and America will both like to find a way out of the sort of the morass they got themselves into. Whether they can do so now, given the extraordinarily difficult situation they've created in Cyprus, is another matter. But I think the first thing is that they should be made to understand quite what has been done to Cyprus, not just in the last few years, but since 1955, since the conflict against British colonial rule started. I'm constantly hopeful that there will be circumstances will occur in the world which will suddenly turn things into a much more favourable situation. And I thought Iraq might possibly do that, the situation in Kurdistan might. There are various circumstances in which Turkey could just find it totally impossible to want to keep a single soldier outside, their own soldiers outside Cyprus, and that, outside Turkey. And I mean, clearly, if there were to be effective lobbying from America and Britain in that direction, I don't see why in the end it should not be effective. I mean, it's very difficult in the short term because the Turkish army has got such an extraordinary sort of belief in itself that it's somehow saving the world by hanging on in Cyprus, and it's the greatest scutcheon on their arms, and Turkish army is not simple in intellectual terms to convince them otherwise, but eventually, I mean, politics could make it impossible for them, and I hope it will make it impossible for them to stay there. And I think the British should not stay in Cyprus. I think, to my mind, again, it's total anachronism that we've got those bases there. I'm an ex-military man. And I perpetually remain hopeful, because I think that the Obama administration could be looking for new routes to take. One has to keep plugging away and trying to get them through. I mean, the last thing I think we should be talking about is all these extraordinary derogations and the idea that Europe should create sort of special circumstances for Cyprus. I mean, Cyprus should be like the rest of Europe. I mean, it should be able to operate, and every single citizen in it should have all the rights that every other citizen in Europe has.